Well, it's a story that captivated the Midlands and is still gut-wrenching for the investigators who are working the case. The search for Amir Jennings.
Many of you may remember Amir was just 18 months old when he was last seen in November of 2011. Police believe that his mother, Zena Jennings, knows where her son is, but she's not cooperating. And because of that, she's in prison. Amir's poster is still up at Columbia Police Headquarters. His photos circulated on websites. But now, as we approach the 2-year anniversary of his disappearance, are people still paying attention? Working with Columbia Police, we conducted a social experiment to see how observant people are and how willing they are to take action. Meet 6-year-old Brody. He used to be my next-door neighbor. His mom agreed to let him help us with a social experiment. We put Brody's picture on a missing flyer with his height, weight, and general description, then posted them around a local playground, and a short time later sent Brody out to play. With our cameras rolling and Columbia Police overseeing our experiment, we observed different reactions. Some people nearby never acknowledged the flyers, even after Brody put one back up himself. Others took a good look but did not notice the supposedly missing boy playing right next to them. Helen and Hugh Welch were on a play date with their 18-month-old son, Joshua. Did you happen to notice any missing posters on the playground today?
I did, of a little boy. I think his name is Brody. Brody.
Yeah, very
about
close.
6 years old.
Did you notice the posters out there?
I noticed quite a few out there. Especially now that we have a child, it's something that you keep an eye out for because, you don't want to think of any parent in that situation.
Did you also notice that Brody was playing on the playground with you guys?
I did not notice that he was playing on the playground with us.
Every parent with a little one can relate to how tough it is just keeping up with a busy toddler. But Helen did try to check her phone for an Amber Alert. Hugh says it's a good reality check.
You see the alerts on the roads or you get them on your phone, but that's about the extent of it. Sometimes you just get lost in your own world. So,
Think you might be a little bit more observant now?
I think I will be now.
The most observant people on the playground? The kids. One little boy even questioned Brody.
I knew it was you! It had to be you!
Finally, one of the adults listened to the kids and took action.
I saw the policeman here earlier.
Yes, ma'am.
I see flyers for Brody.
Surprisingly, Brody stayed in character until the very end, making this almost too real for all of us.
I was a little surprised that there was no information on it last seen. That information, and there was no Amber Alert that I noticed, and so I started going on my phone trying to find out more information, and there was nothing. I'm like, who is this kid? I've never seen this kid, and there was a little boy that was wearing red, but that wasn't his description, but all the kids were going, he kind of looks like him. He kind of looks like him. Well, just ask him. So they brought him to me.
We asked Cindy Creech, a mom of 4, what made her step up to help.
Empathy, if that ever happened to mine. I actually tell my kids, if you get lost in Disneyland, who are you going to? Go to another mom. If she's got kids, go to her. She's gonna try and help you.
Even though we knew Brody was always safe, there was something about seeing Cindy grab Brody by the hand that made all of us, even the officers, feel relieved.
We were watching the kids. We saw the gathering with the papers in hand. We were so happy to see a parent take the opportunity to go over and see what the kids were talking about. And when we saw you grab that hand and start walking toward us, we were like, yes, great. And I hated to do that to you, but I wanted to keep it as real as possible.
It turns out one other person tried to help.
I think you had it up for 30 minutes and someone snapped the picture, and before you know it was on Facebook. And so
Sergeant Thomas says social media can be a very valuable tool, but you should always verify information about missing children with local authorities before posting. A recent incident in Lexington that blew up on the WIS Facebook page is an example of good intentions gone bad. Someone posted, quote, was WIS informed of the child abduction at Virginia Hilton Park? A man in his 40s, 50s in a white polo shirt took a little boy around 3 years old from the playground. The post goes on to say, another mom was able to get the child. The man got away. There are cameras all along there. His picture needs to go up before he abducts another child. Within minutes, the WIS Facebook page was flooded with comments from people demanding more information. One viewer even posted, quote, your viewers want to know details about the attempted child abduction at Virginia Hilton Park. A little boy was nearly kidnapped, saved by another mom, and this isn't newsworthy? Inform and update, please. It turns out there was no attempted abduction. Surveillance video showed the man identified as a suspect was actually a Good Samaritan who returned that little boy to his mother after the toddler slipped away from the playgroup. Back at our park, Cindy is surprised to learn that during our 1-hour experiment, she was the first and only parent to approach Brody. She can't help but think, what if he had been a missing child?
It kind of gets me angry. They're my neighbors. If they're here at this park, they're my neighbors. Watch them. I'm watching your kids.
You know, we want to thank the Columbia Police Department, the families there at Woodland Park. And here's the thing, I actually got a couple of phone calls because people were concerned. And Brody's actually pretty popular, as it turns out. But people wanted to make sure that Brody was okay. Like I said, he's one of my neighbors. And one of the moms told me, she said, you know what, shame on me. She says, my kids came to me and said they thought it was him. But she says, of course it couldn't be. So she says now she'll take action. She'll listen to her kids. And that's why we wanted to bring this to everybody's attention. I mean, they're still keeping hope of finding Amir. I know it's been 2 years, but people will travel over the holidays. So it is all about being alert, being aware of your surroundings, just taking the time to pay attention. And if you see something, to say something and let the police check it out. And
listen to your children, because in your story, they were the ones who really...
The kids were all over it.
They have an instinct already,
yes.
but they're also on the level of that face.
That's right.
So listen to them. They have something to say.
One other thing I wanted to pass along out of this, technology can definitely be a great tool. There's an app that I found out about in doing research for this story. It's called Life 360, and it was designed to create our children. It is a free app. You basically create private circles for your family or maybe even a group of friends, but you can receive automatic notifications when they arrive. So if Anderson goes to school, when he gets home, you know, assuming your kids are old enough to have a cell phone, they can automatically check in. You'll know that they arrived safely, but they can also send a panic alarm. So if there's anything wrong, any sort of emergency, they can send it, they will get it to you immediately, and then you can take action. So again, that is Life 360. Also the FBI Child ID app. We gave away free child ID kits out at Woodland Park today. You can download that app, or if you like the actual kit with the fingerprinting and DNA to just keep in case you need it, I hope you never do, I do have a few extra copies, so email me through Facebook. I'll be happy to get one to you.
As our viewers can imagine, we hear about everything and anything working in a newsroom, but that app, the first one especially, we had never heard about that.
I know it.
That's pretty fascinating.
Life 360.
Life 360.
I got it downloaded.
We'll be right back.